But anyway, that's the way I did it.
Yeah.
And I found it worked,
Right.
you know. But yeah, that was that was the least of our concerns
Yeah.
on the trip, was doing that. Our biggest problem every year was finding that first spot, because we never knew how high the water was going to be, and whether what's indicated on the map as a dry beach is actually a dry beach.
Right.
It could just totally disappear. And then I remember always having my watch, and I say, 8:30, because we always want about the same date, right, on our trips.
Yeah.
Basically,
Started getting dark around 8:30, 9.
And I thought, 8:30 is D-Day. Like if we're at 8:30 and we're not landed,
Yeah.
then we're gonna have a hell of a time pitching the tent, putting everything away.
Yeah.
It's not gonna be fun. Because usually we pitch, we land, we make a good supper. There's plenty of light.
Mm-hmm.
By the time we're eating supper, the light's gone, but everything's set up.
Mm-hmm.
And I think there was a couple of years where that first trip, we got really close. I'm looking at my watch, and I remember it was normally you and Matthew that would kind of scout ahead,
Mm-hmm.
and we were going from island to island,
Mm-hmm.
and you guys were finding like just mush, or the terrain was way too steep to pitch a tent.
Right.
But I think the guy upstairs was always looking after us. He would always find something. I thought, holy shit, 20 after 8. I remember one, we cut it that close,
Mm-hmm.
20 after 8, but it was a great spot. And I thought, because 10 minutes can make the difference between a disaster.
Yeah.
Can you imagine having this? Okay, because you can't stay past that. It's totally pitch dark.
Yeah.
You cannot have your raft on that lake, right? Because anything could hit you, right? You don't know where your companions are,
Mm-hmm.
and it's a dangerous situation. But thank God, every year we managed to somehow find a spot, and usually the spots were pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll tell you, there was a lot of sweat, blood, and tears in that last half an hour, especially from these guys, trying to find anything. Because at the last resort, before it became totally black, we would have to go to anything like who cares about the train. You'd have to go there, just somehow tie up your raft, and even if you had to stand up the entire night, because there's no other.
Yeah.
Can you imagine standing up throughout the entire night, hungry, cold, because you're stuck on some point,
Mm-hmm.
because it's friggin' like, how dark it got there?
Yeah.
I mean, you're talking total darkness.
Yeah.
But why would you have to stand up and
It's so dense. It's brush and everything, and there's not a flat spot anywhere where you can even lay down, right?
It's like mini cliffs.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it was better than drowning, right?
Marginally.
Marginally. So we would have to sit or stand somewhere and wait for dawn to come.
And that never happened. We always
Never
managed to
happened.
find something.
Okay.
But there was a couple. I remember that day you're talking about. We came really close, and we said, "Oh, come on! Why are we doing this? Why are we doing it?" And that was a windy day, and it was wavy. We weren't sure if we should continue, and but we made it. And I think was that the one where we were headed for Knickerbocker, and then by the time we got there, there was already somebody there. So we went around the corner, and we found that great, big, beautiful, flat, low spot with kind of tall grasses and that sticking out of the sand. That was a great spot.
It was like Manna from heaven.
Yeah, it was a great spot, man. We enjoyed it. I think Simon lost his fishing rod there the next day too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Was that the one? Was that this one spot where Paul decided to pitch his tent on that mini island there, or all by himself,
That
and perform some raids on
that was Knickerbocker
Perform some
itself.
it?
That,
Raids.
yeah,
Come
yeah,
in the middle of the night.
yeah, and
Like,
he wanted to grab somebody's kayak
Yeah.
and kind of float it out to another
Yeah.
location.
Yeah.
It's a practical joke.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
that's it. Well, that was it. That spot was occupied. So
Okay.
we kept going, and we had to go about another kilometer to go around that point, and that was when we found that beautiful spot.
Okay.
You know, because there was a bunch of fishermen there and stuff, and the
Right.
water was high that year, I think, so there wasn't a whole lot of beach.
Right.
So I'm pretty sure that was the spot. Other guys can probably inform you better, but
Yeah.
yeah, that's
But all that, as you know, you think, geez, that's crazy, man. It was all part of the adventure.
yeah,
You know,
Yeah.
even arriving late,
yeah.
not being. It was all part of. It was all.
Well, it's
in
no
one.
fun if it's easy.
Exactly.
It's not memorable.
It's not like that's what I said. I
Yeah,
said,
yeah,
you know, sometimes this trip is just a little crazy,
yeah.
but man, is it fun?
Hmm.
Because remember some of those heavy winds.
Yeah,
You're fighting winds coming this way, and then a current, a strong current, going this way, and it's like, oh my God, like 3-foot thing,
yeah,
and you're trying to keep your bow into the worst of the waves,
yeah,
and you're trying to keep a lookout where everybody is, and you hope to hell that you're not falling behind. That would be like, that was my nightmare.
yeah,
It was like, oh my God, I'm a kilometer behind everybody. And I'm no expert boatsman by any stretch of the imagination. But it all worked about those moments of fear. And I'm telling you, the worst part was was it on our last trip? Remember that windy,
Oh, yeah.
I've never seen such,
That was where the wind, it was kind of like, you know how it gets really windy around the Richardson building?
Yeah.
Because the fact that there's a building there.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
you come, well, that's weird. There was a huge cliff leading into this
wind
bay.
channel.
And unfortunately, we had gone too close. We should have been farther out into the middle where Simon
Right.
was, but we stayed close to the cliff, and that's where the wind was
So
the
wind
strongest.
channel? Wind-
Well,
wind
yeah,
channel
and
you
it was
got?
just like it felt like
It's like a whirlwind.
it felt
Yeah,
like
yeah,
a 50
it's a
mile an
wind
hour
channel.
wind.
right.
And you're paddling as fast as you can, and you're moving like 1 foot a minute.
Yeah.
And
And
you're, I think,
You're
do
exhausted.
not tip over.
Yeah,
Do not
Yeah.
tip over.
yeah,
Because even Paul and Cole, like Paul took his fishing boat. He didn't take and so he was with Paul and Cole. They had trouble.
yeah. Oh, yeah, in his motorboat. Yeah,
Yeah. And I'm thinking, all
Yeah.
I could think was total concentration.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You must not tip this thing.
yeah,
Because A, I don't know what I'd do.
Mm-hmm.
B, it would take forever for one of my fellow boatsmen to get them in,
hmm
right? But man, was I relieved when we finally got into that cover and the wind got cut down.
yeah, yeah,
And I thought, holy, I was exhausted.
yeah.
was
That was the
totally-
worst, hardest paddling we'd ever
Oh,
had.
the hardest, and a lot of it was. I felt like some parts of it were canoe, like paddle or die. Okay, you got your choice.
Pick one.
Pick one. Like, oh, and I was worried. I was looking back at Simon, and he seemed to be way back there,
Yeah.
and I thought he might be in trouble.
Mm-hmm.
But I knew that, Ron, you're not the person to save Simon,
Mm-hmm.
because I'm not anywhere close to what my brother or Kyle or Matthew is as a paddler. I said, I'm sure they'll take care of things. But I said, it seemed like everybody was so separated.
Yeah, we were spread
Right.
all out. Yeah. was spread out over the whole inlet.
We were spread out, and we were, like I said, totally unprepared.
Yeah,
It was like, huh?
yeah.
What the hell happened here?
Did not expect that.
Yeah, because prior to that, it was a beautiful ride.
Yeah.
I think we actually had the wind going with us.
I don't know if we had the wind going with us, but it sure was against us when we were pulling into that bay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that the thing is Simon, he was way out there, but he probably encountered less wind than you and I did because he was out in the middle.
Okay.
So he didn't get that effect of coming around that big cliff, right?
Right.
I think that was our mistake. We stayed too close to the cliff.
I remember we got that warning from one of the motorboaters who were going opposite us. It was about 2 or 3 miles before we reached that point.
Okay.
And one of the guys said, I said, "Hi,
Yeah.
how's it going?" And I said, "Yeah, we're blah, blah, blah." And I'm sure he told us, he said, "Well, I gotta warn you, there's this point, junction of
Yeah.
these two things that says, trust me, hold on to your pants because it is blowing."
Oh.
I thought, well, we've handled things before,
Yeah.
but nothing like this.
No.
Nothing like this. I would avoid that situation again.
Yeah.
Even if if we had to paddle another 10 miles,
Yeah.
I'll take the 10 miles.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, and now now that we've got the experience,
Right.
that would be the way to do it: is stay out of the wind as much as you can and look for any big, huge structures that'll funnel that wind,
Right.
like a cliff. You
Yeah.
know, yeah, that was something else.
Because I noticed that even all the fishing boats, because
They all avoided it,
and
except us in our little kayaks, because we're smart.
They're smart. But you know what? They weren't. All in all, you and I were one of the few seniors on Lake Winnipeg paddling kayak.
Lake of the Woods, yeah.
Right? I mean, there were other people, but our age,
Yeah.
very unusual.
Ron, the two top athletes were in a motorboat.
Yeah. It's so true. I was looking at these two guys, prime football players.
Yeah.
All that they could go forever,
Yeah.
and they're in the fishing boat.
Yeah.
With the motors.
Yeah.
Right?
And I don't know if that's a testament to their smarts or our lack of smarts. But,
I don't know.
But there you have it.
But all I know is they brought cold beer. And that was the saving. Remember that?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
They did.
That was a rescue mission.
Yeah, we would hit the island that we wanted to stay at. And then, of course, they could take their time fishing or whatever. And eventually they'd come up and they had cases of beer.
Right.
And of course that made them gods. So we had to.
Well, Ron, that worked for me. I don't know about
Yeah,
you.
we had to kneel in the sand. And we are not.
Yeah.
It was funny.
Yeah.
Cold beer
Yeah.
on a deserted island.
Yeah.
Nothing like it. But yeah, I mean, it was the whole. And I don't know if you've seen that clip with Paul, and he had this inflatable sex doll.
Yeah, I think I saw a clip of that.
Yeah.
And he had it at the rear of his.
Yeah. I think you got 2 years out of her.
Yeah. And he wore that Mexican.
It sounds awful,
Got
doesn't
pregnant, had his child. That was it.
it? Had his child. Had his love child.
And he wore that Mexican wrestling
Oh,
match.
that was just insane.
That
Jesus Christ. What was that about?
people, and I said, "This is not my son. This is not my son."
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, what did he call himself? Nacho Libre or something? I don't know what it was.
Nacho.
Well, I remember those Christmases where we would watch, it was Boxing Day, and we would watch those,
Oh
the
shit!
clips. We were
Friday Night
laughing so
Wrestling.
Yeah.
hard.
Remember that?
Oh.
Yeah.
I used to try those holes on Johnny and I. Johnny would come upstairs,
Yeah.
Remember on Friday nights?
Oh yes, I dreaded Friday nights with you and Johnny getting together. Yeah, I know you'd practice wrestling holds on me.
Oh,
Here, let's put
Well,
Robert.
you
Let's put
want-
Robert in a full Nelson.
Well,
I
Robert,
didn't even know who Nelson
I
was.
remember you wanted to belong so badly
Oh, that
that
was
you
pathetic,
would
wasn't it?
you would do anything for Jean Louis and
Yeah,
Rob.
I know. Sad, eh?
All of a sudden, you would find you in the basement,
Yeah.
strung up
We,
with rope.
we was a Spanish Inquisition
Yeah.
rat. Not just any rat.
Yeah, that's right.
Spanish Inquisition.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's
Yeah.
Robert. Oh yeah. Anything to be accepted.
I
in the
mean,
group.
Johnny made himself, or had his mother sew, a special black cloak. Do you remember that?
No.
Yeah, because he was the torturer.
Yeah, I
It was only appropriate,
yeah. I remember.
right?
No, I did not. I don't recall that. Maybe I was blacking out and I didn't see it.
So he
Yeah.
put the cloak,
They'd put the cloak on for full dramatic effect.
full dramatic effect.
Wow. Yeah.
And he'd accuse you of doing terrible things. Of which,
Are you serious?
Yeah.
I'm serious.
I don't remember that. I don't remember the trial.
No, because
I just remembered the
Oh
punishment.
yeah.
Because
You
remember,
did.
we got taught in history. This is part of Spanish Inquisition, was there,
Right.
right? And there was the Catholic thing was all in there, right?
Okay.
And you were allowed to torture people.
Yeah. Ron, I didn't know this, okay? I was younger than you guys.
Okay, so you were allowed, in our minds, it seemed like Protestants, non-believers,
Mm-hmm.
non-Catholics,
Right.
were allowed to be tortured.
Oh
Yes.
Because
Yeah.
that's what they did in the Spanish Inquisition,
Yeah.
Yeah.
right? So we pretended you were a non-follower.
I'm an altar boy and he's pretending I'm a
Yeah.
Protestant.
Yeah, well, it's for their own
Cut out those
convenience.
details. Right? I mean, who else could lie down for that?
I know. He was a real
Yeah.
My
Well, let's
God.
not cloud the issue with facts.
Yeah, yeah, and so, I mean, what I liked about Jean Louis is he was pretty good. He was pretty good figuring out. Well, he became a technician, eh?
Yes. Lori worked with him at HSC.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Or
he
she
was
knew him, I should say.
pretty good building stuff,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
this thing was pretty realistic. It had, I remember the knuckle kind of things where the guy would, the goofy assistant. Warsaw.
Yeah, Renfield.
Yeah.
Renfield. You were
I
Renfield.
was
too.
Renfield.
You were Renfield for
That
Johnny.
was Renfield,
Yeah.
and he would pronounce you guilty.
Like I had to say
Right.
this shit.
And we always, I remember, it was always adjusting the ropes on his legs and on his, because they're never quite right. It always, okay, get off, Rob. Get off, we gotta
We got to
move
reposition.
this,
Yeah.
move that.
Yeah, they had to reposition it. I had to
Yeah.
cooperate with this.
Yeah. And
I wasn't very assertive.
No. And you were desperate to be
Yeah.
accepted.
I wanted to belong.
as far as I know,
Yeah.
none of this ever hurt Johnny and I. And it was painless for us. But no, we never got hurt.
Well, no, you didn't get hurt.
No.
No, thank God, Ron.
You might have had some rope marks on your thing. But
And Robert was always eager to
Yeah.
be
Oh,
the
yeah.
volunteer because he wanted to be in
wanted
on it.
in on the
Okay,
gang thing.
in. So he would do anything
Yeah.
for these guys.
Yeah.
And they took advantage of that
Gee,
situation.
you think?
I remember he never squealed.
No, you never did.
squealed on us.
No.
Because it would have been so easy. But I don't think Mom would have thought that was appropriate.
No, she went.
No.
The thing is, he didn't squeal because he wanted to be accepted,
Yeah.
and that means he would never be able to be tortured again.
Yeah.
And that was like,
Oh,
okay,
it had a certain
there
appeal.
was a little bit of sickness
Yeah.
there, right?
I remember Mom
A
coming.
little bit of sickness.
Of course, Mom had to do her clothing, right? The
Yeah.
washing machine.
Yeah.
was down there.
Yeah.
In case she should pop around, she should look at.
What's
I mean,
that?
what is that? Right? And we'd have to make up some, like Johnny and I would have to make up, and to his mom too, right? Make up some appropriate, disentangled explanation.
Trying to
that,
build something.
you know what? Like after a few words, like just okay, oh, just don't break anything. Right?
And none of them ever asked, why is Robert attached to it?
No. We were just all everybody's just happy
Yeah.
that everybody's playing at something
Oh, yeah.
or whatever. As long as, yeah.
We got so much. I think that we had to use our brain
Yes.
a lot because you had to think of these things.
Yeah.
Right? You had to kind of build it, design it, keep it hidden.
And then find the victim.
Well, that was
Find
easy.
the victim.
That was easy. The victim lived upstairs.
And a
Was so
victim
nice.
that will not squeal.
Yeah.
Okay? Find the perfect victim who actually, this is, yeah.
Oh, that was
Oh,
good.
yeah.
Remember that time? I don't know what was it? Johnny and me.
Of course.
We're always experimenting with different stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And Johnny got it in his head. He got this thing about distilleries. And he said, I'm going to make my own distillery. I saw this thing program on TV, right? And I said, okay. So he, got stuff from his kitchen, blah, 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 right? And he had this mini distillery going on, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying, well, what are you trying to make? I said, I'm not sure. But apparently,
But it'll be good.
he says, I think I'm doing all the right stuff because there's flames there.
That's a prerequisite. There's flames. Robert's still alive?
Yeah, the smoke coming out, and he says I can see the water, whatever he had in there,
Okay.
bubbling.
Yeah.
And he says, this is what happens, Ron. And he had a thing of ice cubes. He says you gotta make this stuff turn from steam back to a liquid. Right? So he had the
Oh wow. Yeah.
he had the right he had the whole thing.
Yeah. He had a full
going on.
thermodynamics thing
Yeah.
going here. Good.
And he says, I got it, look what's that. I said, yeah, great.
Where's
I said,
Rob?
So what are you gonna make? I says, well, I got all these different things. He had sugar, he had water, he had I remember purple cake coloring. Okay, he said, man, it's just there's no color here. We're gonna give it some color. And so he would dump this thing, and he would eventually condense it all.
Mm-hmm.
Right? We thought, wow, we made something with this. I said, okay, so what are we gonna do? So next day we took it to Sacred Heart.
Did you really? You brought it to the show the nuns. Oh, you could distill
Like
things.
who better? We had an audience.
Yeah.
We had our classroom, right? Right?
Yeah.
We knew that these guys are solid. For the most part, they were going to go, oh, I can't do this. What are you doing? You're going to poison? No. So before class,
Yeah.
we were giving out what we call, this stuff is very expensive booze.
And it was water with food coloring.
Yeah, essentially. Of course, at that age, right? Booze, yeah, wow. Gee, my parents never let me have any of that. So we would, here. So we would have this, we had this kind of like a thimbleful. It was, and we'd dole it out like it was
Gold.
worth gold. And everybody would, there's enough for everybody here.
Well, of course, there's more in the tap.
Of course, they would down it and they'd say like, "Wow, whoa, that's good stuff."
Purple water.
Yeah, well, it was water.
Yeah.
They don't think, "Oh." Then class begins, right? And I'm looking at all these guys, and their purple faces.
Oh, Ron, way to go.
Oh, the purple dye.
Yeah, the
Yeah, the
food
purple
coloring.
dye.
You bastard, Ron.
And then the nun goes to the front of the class, right? She's looking. What's going on here? And you know what? She almost knew by magic that it was us, right?
Yeah, you and Johnny.
And first thing she said, she knew that Johnny was pretty smart coming up with stuff. She says, "John, qu'est-ce que ça?" And Johnny says, "It's just water and dye. Sorry about that, but we had to have people to test out."
At the people to test.
And no one was forced to do anything.
Yeah.
And she said, "Don't do that again, please. 'Cause I really don't want to go back to your parents. I don't want back to those parents. Okay? So as far as I'm concerned, it's a dad issue, but no more. No more experiments." But yeah, she was good. She never mentioned the principal.
No.
Like, she was a good nun.
Yeah.
She probably
I
went
can't
back,
remember her-
turned around, and was
What grade?
laughing
Do you remember
her
what
head
grade
off.
you were in?
Might have been 4.
Oh, 9 years. Yeah.
Might have been 4 or
Four
5.
was Lucille des Anges.
Okay.
She was really,
She was
really
very
nice. Very nice.
Yes.
Sorry, Lucille des Anges. I don't know what her real name was.
Yeah,
Right.
but she was
But
cool.
yeah, she was very nice. And
Yeah.
grade 5 was already Madame Labelle, but she might have been gone by the time.
But I would say you said she.
Yeah,
was
she
real
was she
cool.
was so nice. I
She
liked her.
probably went and chuckled. A bit,
Yeah, I
you
saw
know,
that dumb
going,
bastard.
Oh,
Look
I'm
what he
sure
did. Yeah,
She
No.
thought because I told her food coloring.
food coloring.
And they were all purple.
Yeah.
All purple.
And it would all worn out by the end of the day,
Yes.
right? Yeah,
Yes, it did.
yeah.
It did. But if I could have gotten a picture of that classroom.
With all those purple lips
Yeah.
and purple tongues.
And all these guys are smiling because, man, we had booze.
Yeah.
Like before
Stand there
class.
looking like a room full of
Yeah.
idiots, eh?
Yeah. No, it was, like I said, back then, you could get away with stuff.
Yeah.
And stuff that was
Innocent kind of.
innocent.
Yeah.
It was fun.
Nobody was hurt. It
No.
was fun.
No.
Yeah.
But this would end up in the free press.
Yeah.
Absolutely free press.
If you did it now, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, and big lawsuits.
Student
and,
was
big,
given-
Yeah.
big.
Oh,
Oh yeah.
unknown substance,
Yeah.
which could have blah, blah, blah,
Yeah.
blah,
Yeah.
blah,
Yeah.
Which
Yeah.
could-
blah, blah. My mother
Lips-
would have been
lips
arrested.
looked suspicious.
Oh,
Every lip looked
Yeah.
suspicious.
yeah. So
Oh yeah, now it would be such a, you know,
it was
you know.
crazy. Like, and that's the thing, is that you never hurt anybody.
No,
That was the rule.
no,
Like, we never had knives.
no,
Forget, that was
no.
like,
We
what,
never,
you kidding
no,
me?
nothing.
Yeah.
And
Never hurt anybody.
no,
No.
no. It was just, you know, plain, real good kids fun.
Yeah.
Like even when we were building the fort.
Oh.
Remember the fort? Or go bike riding, do this, do that. You know.
We had very little
We
parent
No.
saying, okay, this is how you do this.
Mhm.
We built that fort on our own.
Yeah, yeah, we
Yeah,
had to.
I know.
They really encouraged us to figure things out
Figure
ourselves.
out.
And you know, as a result, when they say, "Hey, go," what do you mean? I don't have time. Like these,
Oh.
you know, the mothers were just like.
Mhm.
We didn't have, they didn't have to play with us.
Oh, you want to do
No.
that? Okay, we'll go.
What was that?
Okay, go figure
They
it out.
Wait, I
didn't,
got
they didn't know how
time
to
to
play
play.
with their
Yeah,
children
yeah.
then, Ron.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, play.
Play.
Here, do the dishes.
Yeah.
What family are you living with?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Playing for kids. Now go.
Yeah.
Go.
Well, like,
Yeah.
we got together, form a baseball team,
Yeah.
tin can cricket,
Yep.
right? Climb somebody's roof,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
right?
And the girls would go and get a skipping rope. Boom.
Oh yeah,
Or play marbles. You know, I love playing
marbles.
Go skipping rope, walk around,
Crazy.
you know,
Yeah, and
all
always
sorts of
meet
things.
different people.
Get flashed at. I was telling Robert, I said, boy, let's go. We got flashed at a couple of times, more often than what you can imagine,
Right.
right? Somebody exposing themselves.
Right.
And it became like you didn't even report it, like, because it became like, it's sort of like, and we'd go like this.
Part of the
We'd walk
neighborhood.
by, we'd go, oh, you
Yeah.
pig.
You-
Turn around, you pig.
Or you tell them, oh, I'm
We
so
didn't make
I'm
a
so
big deal.
sorry. That's what you have.
Like it's almost expected, right?
Yeah.
It's almost expected.
Yeah, it was
we
very
made no big
commonplace, wasn't it?
deal. Yeah, real commonplace.
Sadly.
And the thing is that it's probably commonplace with children. I just think that where there's areas of children, you know,
Yeah.
because we were all very young.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, well, we figured it out.
I mean,
Yeah.
that was
you know.
that.
I mean, we didn't go to a psychiatrist after.
Oh.
You know, we would just go, you know,
we
hey,
figured things out.
put that thing back in there.
We, yeah. I mean, we figured
Yeah.
things out.
Put
on
that
our
thing
own.
away.
Oh, sure,
Yeah.
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah, that whole that was one of the advantages of living where we were. The house was right on the corner,
Yeah.
and the school was right there, across the street,
Yeah.
right? Which meant that the
Community.
community was all around there.
We all had lots of mothers,
Oh yeah.
lots of mothers,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
We don't see the fathers too much, right?
No.
No.
But all of the mothers, I mean, the thing is, you couldn't do something across the street without that mother seeing
Yeah.
you,
Yeah.
and then them reporting it,
Yeah.
right?
Oh, exactly.
So you always had that.
Yeah, I'd never really thought of that because when you think in a very small radius, there were 3 single mothers.
Right.
This was in the 60s.
Yeah.
There was Ma, right? There was
the other ones
Sada downstairs.
Yeah, but the other ones were widows, and that was a different status.
Yes, that's true. Well, Charlie's mom, she wasn't a widow, but she was single. Leah
Okay. I
Leah
don't know. I
Trudeau,
don't know Trudeau.
Rosemary's. You remember Rosemary?
Oh, I think she wasn't her
He was never there.
husband. No, but wasn't she a widow?
No,
Or maybe.
no, he was
Oh.
absent.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well. the
Doesn't
thing
matter
is,
anyway.
Yeah,
That was just an
But
observation.
there were so many mothers, and you couldn't do anything because
Yeah.
one report the other one, and no matter where you walked, somebody.
Oh yeah, everybody
The-
knew everybody's
on
kids.
Kate
And plus the
Street
church
and
was right there,
Yeah.
Yeah.
right? The church was right there.
Like
so-
all the convent was the main thing, right? There was like a building full of
Yeah,
black
Denise
robed.
wasn't, no, her and I,
Supervisors.
she was one of my volunteers at the airport.
Oh, yeah.
We still go for lunch here and there.
Yeah.
Right. You know, that's why I'm happy to see. He called Sacre Coeur. It's still there.
Yes, yes.
It's just, man, it's unbelievable to me
Yeah.
that it's still sitting there. And I recall when that school opened.
Yeah. Me
Remember
too.
that?
Me too. 1962.
Huge event.
Yeah,
Did you see how they expanded to where Canadian Publishers was?
yeah,
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
expanded the whole
Yeah,
thing.
so that's nice that it's always going to
Yeah.
kind of be there.
It's got the same, almost the
Yeah.
same gate, of course
Right.
it would be the
Yeah.
same gate, but the same kind of, schoolyard thing and around the block
Right.
thing. And then there's Hugh John McDonald there, that hasn't
Yeah.
changed at all.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And stuff like that.
And we
And-
built those, remember we built those go-karts? Especially, I remember when the new school was built, they had that dugout
Yeah.
go down.
That
And we
ramp
thought,
there.
holy shit, this is a perfect ramp
Yeah. Yeah.
for carts to go down, right?
Yeah.
And
And it
skating.
was, and I remember a bunch of us, there was 2 or 3 different carts being built just out of miscellaneous lumber, right? There's no springs or anything, barely functional steering,
Mm-hmm.
right? And we had a lot of time, we'd push until we got to the down ramp, and it would go quite fast, and we
There's
would
a
hope,
sharp turn.
that was our hope. That
was our hope that you
was
could.
our hope that the steering
Yeah.
complied and that we could make that
Yeah.
turn.
Turn away from the wall. Yeah.
That's when I roller skated down there and I hit
Oh,
my head
yeah.
on the corner,
Yeah.
and that's Tyndall stone, right?
Oh, yeah.
And it's new stone, right? Just built.
Nice and sharp.
Nice.
Yeah.
Huh?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you left quite a bit of blood on that schoolyard. I think you hit the monkey bars once too,
Yeah.
doing something. Pretty well everybody
Yeah.
left some blood.
The only thing I
Yeah.
never did that a lot of kids did was put their tongue on
Oh,
that.
God.
Yeah, I didn't do that either. I missed out on
never
that.
did
I-
I watched and learned.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
You
never had
don't
it.
be doing that.
Yeah.
I
don't be doing
saw.
it.
Yeah, I remember looking out the window at a nun with the
Yeah.
a boiling pot there, you know,
Yeah.
a kettle.
Yeah.
And she was put on. Oh my God, that cannot be fun.
No.
I thought,
I remember walking past that pole.
oh yeah.
There was a piece of meat
Oh, yeah.
stuck.
Yeah.
That person's probably still talking with a
Well,
lisp.
sometimes that was the.
Yeah.
Depending on the cold it was, and if you're talking minus 30,
Yeah.
You're gonna
right,
get.
it's gonna have to be quick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's gonna hurt like hell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You will never do it.
Just an
in your
instant
life.
rip.
I learned.
Yeah.
I saw that, and I never did
Yeah.
that. Do you remember when we all thought the devil was in the church?
Oh, I
remember
can't
that
say remember
episode?
that.
I can't
Okay,
remember
so
that.
there was one day, and it was probably mostly girls who were
Yeah, it was
into
probably.
that. You know, girl created, female
Yeah.
created,
Yeah.
and but do you okay where you used to when you were an altar boy and you used to change? You remember up? It was on the top floor,
Yeah.
and there was small.
Yeah, it was
windows.
up
Right.
above the altar. That's where all the cupboards were.
Right.
And
Right.
Right.
spooky
okay.
place, yeah.
So one day, somebody said something about, I think the nuns were telling us horror stories. You know how they would do that,
Yeah.
the angel and the devil and the devil.
Yeah,
It
exactly.
was just
Yeah.
too
All that
much.
crap, yeah.
Right.
It just went overboard. They crossed certain lines.
Yeah.
Right.
And then the rumor was around is that the devil was in that room.
Oh yeah.
And then somebody said, "Oh, I could see the face. Don't you see the face?" And we were all really sincerely scared.
Yeah.
Okay. And they went around and
All it takes is one person
yeah.
said that they see
And
something.
it
Yeah,
just
the power
went
of
through-
suggestion, right?
And, and there was no nun who I'm sure a nun heard all this. Did not come and discount this rumor. Okay.
Oh, no.
Because that was probably
Well, it served their purpose.
yeah.
They didn't want kids roaming around up there in the cupboards, right?
Well, no, the devil was here
Yeah.
haunting
Something
us,
to be feared.
and
Yeah.
the reason they
It was
know is because
control.
his
Yeah.
face was in there.
Yeah.
Okay, but I remember that whole day was just excruciating.
Yeah.
Like I fell for it.
Yeah.
Well, of course.
No, but I think most of that stuff, it was the women groups. Girl groups.
Women do that.
Yeah, we were too busy making liquor.
Yeah,
Making liquor.
yeah. And you guys were more into a physical
Oh, yeah.
sports,
Yeah.
doing
Like
physical.
that-
But this is a girl thing,
Yeah.
I wasn't aware of that.
definitely a girl
Yeah.
thing. Girls do.
Like as soon as recess would come, we would hit the
Yeah.
schoolyard
Yeah,
and we'd be playing either
yeah.
touch football.
Like right away.
Oh yeah, we were like, because we had no formal gym,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Which I really missed. I remember the one year where the school hired. Remember that black kid,
Mr. Lucas.
Mr. Lucas?
Yeah.
I thought, Nirvana, we got somebody who's going to teach us the sports.
Yeah.
And I remember every guy there was super. They were all jumping 10 feet high.
Yeah.
Just because we had a guy,
Yeah.
which is rare, and he was interested in sports.
In sports, yeah.
And we're going to have fun playing
Yeah.
football,
Yeah,
this and that.
Yeah.
He's going to teach us, all these different things.
Yeah.
And then the nuns decided that they didn't like a guy being there. And they fired his ass. and he was only there for a few months.
Yeah, I know.
and
I'm not
remember-
sure what. I didn't know what was going on in the background there. I do
What a
remember him.
disappointment.
That was
Yeah.
at the same time they decided that the girls were going to be able to have gym,
Okay.
okay, exercising, but we would have to change, right? That way
Right.
you can't do it in your uniform. Oh my God! Two nuns would have to be in the washroom while we
Alright.
changed.
Yes, I remember. Yeah, you know they used to do that in the boys' washroom too.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
all
Bunch of
that
pervs.
stuff.
I remember
And-
Dennis Desertel turned around
Yeah.
when he was peeing
Yeah.
because she was
Yeah.
going on. He said, peed right on her.
Really?
Yeah.
Good for
I
Dennis.
guess he said, "What are you doing
Yeah.
here?
Yeah.
What are you doing
Yeah.
here?
Taking a pee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can see that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So-
Just
but-
continued peeing on her.
But the gym thing only lasted about, I think, 2 sessions.
Yeah.
And then they stopped it. It must have been at the same time as
Yeah.
the Lucas thing.
Yeah.
And he was a real nice guy.
He was. Yeah.
And the excitement, I can
Yeah.
remember.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember
We
that.
were
That was so
never
neat.
as excited. Like we would
Yeah.
have jumped 10 feet if
Yeah.
that guy wanted.
We had somebody that wasn't a nun
Yes.
instructing us.
Yeah.
And we knew this guy knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
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 Right?
Aw.
And it could have really been something.
Yeah.
But no, he was crossing into their territory.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was crossing into their
Right.
area.
You know what?
that's
I should ask Ma about that because she knew a lot of the
know.
stuff that was going on
She could have been
in the
involved in the
background.
hiring.
I'm sure she would have heard a lot of the scuttlebutt
Oh yeah.
as to why they didn't like this guy or why they didn't like that.
And the fact that he was black too didn't help, I'm sure.
Absolutely. I mean,
Right.
yeah, in the '60s you didn't see many.
I know for a fact that none of the people, like the boys,
Right?
didn't give a shit at all.
No.
Blackness was totally.
No.
Oh no. That
Weren't we
was an
taught-
adult
we're-
thing.
yeah,
That was
weren't
an adult
Weren't we
concern, right?
supposed to? We're Catholic. Are we supposed to be everybody's equal
Right.
kind of
Oh
thing?
shit, no.
No,
Yeah.
I know. Like I mean, us the
Whatever.
kids
Yeah.
had more of a
Yeah.
non-prejudice kind
And,
of thing.
and
than
we
me.
had
We're
they had
open-minded.
bought Jim pants for us. Remember that?
Yes.
The-
Vaguely,
Yeah.
And we
vaguely.
felt really.
Yeah,
'cause
sweats.
We had the
Sweats.
sweats,
Yes.
and we had to put them on.
Yeah.
Before we went out there.
Yeah.
And we felt like, holy, we got gym pants.
Yeah.
Like we're professionals. And I think we even got T-shirts. Our own T-shirts.
Yeah, I know. I can
But I
remember.
remember.
I can
like,
remember some
whoa,
yellow
now
thing.
we're ready to have some fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was like, within weeks it was gone.
Yeah.
And I thought, holy shit, what the hell? They never explained it to us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Never.
No.
It was just, no,
Ron, you were on a need-to-know basis.
yeah. Yeah.
Well, Claudette, we should go.
Yeah.
Okay.
But